What's up, YouTube? Welcome to my review of the first run Frostline Claymore by Latitude 64. This is in the new plastic type released by Latitude. It's called Frostline for the actual Latitude 64 line, and then for the DD line, Dynamic Disc, it's called Fluid, and then for Westside it's called Elasto. But it's the same plastic. Kind of a little bit aside, but I wonder if eventually the trilogy will just stick with one name for their plastics. Just stick with Opto, Gold, Fluid, you know, like, it just gets really confusing to me. I think it's pretty obvious to everybody that it's the same plastic now, so why is it, I don't know why it has to have different names. It's just kind of weird. But anyway, the Frostline is kind of like your Discraft Flex plastic or so, where it's got a flexible feel. It'll retain that feel a little bit more throughout different temperature ranges, and it'll also just have a gummier, grippier feel, especially in the wintertime when certain discs would get really kind of stiff and somewhat slippery from the cold temperatures. So yeah, look at this guy. There's your logo for the Frostline. I think that's cool. I like the snowflake look there. Here's your stamp, first run Frostline, stable mid-range. Here's your Latitude 64 logo. Here is your weight, 175 on this guy. I'll look at the rim design here. Very familiar kind of, I don't know, buzz looking shape to it, you know. Throw it up next to I got a first run Axis over here, one of the few that I have in stock, and you can see it's pretty similar shape, I would say. I think it looks pretty similar. Maybe the Axis is a little more squared off, just a little bit, but definitely that kind of familiar buzz type mid-range shape that we've all come pretty accustomed to in various molds from different companies. The Frost plastic has a good feel to it. You can see it's pretty flexible. I'm putting a decent amount of force to get it to flex that much, but it definitely does it, you know, where other discs wouldn't even flex that much anyway. So it's definitely real flexible. This one isn't super grippy. It's got a nice feel. The top is a little bit like, not quite as grippy as I would expect. And I think I tried out a couple other ones that were a little bit shinier than this one, if that makes any sense, or had a little bit better grip. This one's almost like slightly like matte finish, and it feels that way. It's hard to explain, but it's got a great, I mean, it's got a great grip. There's no problem with the grip. It feels good, but I would say there are probably some regular Lucid and Opto discs out there that have a little bit more of a tacky grip than this one, but does have that really nice flexible feel to it. So I wanted to check out the Frostline plastic because I always really liked the Flex plastic from Discraft, and I like gummy, soft plastics in general. They feel good in the hand. I find them to be kind of forgiving when you hit trees and stuff. So I like all that stuff. And also, it's wintertime here, and even though this is Portland, Oregon, and it's not really that cold at all compared to most other places in the country right now, or a lot of other places in the country, it is still nice to have a disc that doesn't get too hard, you know, too like stiff and slippery in the cold weather. It kind of remains that nice flexible feel and comfortable feel in the hand, and I like that. Definitely, you know, a good attribute for winter golf. So yeah, I wanted to check it out, but I figured I'd also check out the Claymore, or get a different, you know, Latitude mold out there, a view of it out there for you guys, in case you're looking around and had any interest in this disc. So in flight, it's definitely more stable than I expected. I kind of expected to have that little, you know, throw it down on the hyzer, flip it up flat, kind of truth, buzz type, Axis type flight. And it's pretty close to that, but it's definitely more stable than my Axis, definitely more stable than an average buzz or truth, I would say, but not tremendously so. It holds the line very well. So, you know, you throw it on a hyzer, it holds it very nice. Doesn't really flip up too much. You know, for me and my arm speed at least, which is, you know, pretty minimal. But you throw it on a hyzer, holds the hyzer pretty well. You throw it on an hyzer strong, it will definitely ride out right for a while. If it has enough height, maybe not enough energy, it'll dump back out just a little bit at the end, or it'll kind of finish flat. It didn't really hold a super strong turn for me in my testing. but that's not really a strength of mine, throwing turnovers anyway. I generally like a really flippy disc for turnover. That'll help me out with that. And then also you throw it on a little gentle anhyzer. It'll kind of fight out, go real straight. And if you throw it flat, it holds flat. So if you had a bigger arm, I think this would be a great mid-range. Say you have a little bit of trouble flipping something like a Buzz or a Truth, but you don't want to step up to, you know, a Drone or a Verdict or something else that's you know, more stable. It's kind of a good in the middle stable disc. You know, you can throw it flat, it'll hold it, go very straight, and you don't have to worry too much about flipping it over accidentally. So it's definitely got a good roll in the bag. It's kind of, like I said, kind of in between, say, a Buzz and a Buzz OS, or in between the Truth and the Verdict, that type of you know, slot in the bag where, you know, a nice stable line holding flight. So if you have a bigger arm, I think this would be a great disc for you. And if you're more of a beginner type player, this would be a good disc, just because it'll be real consistent and you know what it's going to do, and it still flies pretty straight. You know, it still flies nice and straight, accurate, controllable, has that nice kind of Trilogy glide. The plastic, you know, for whatever reason, Trilogy plastic seems to just carry a little bit longer than the average disc of other companies, and this one's definitely got that going on. So that's my review of the first run Frostline Claymore. Looking forward to checking out the fluid plastic, either in a Trespass or an Escape. If they release the Trespass, I'm going to buy one immediately. And I'm looking to get an Escape in the fluid plastic to check out for this winter, because I've always really liked that mold, and I like the plastic type. So thanks for watching, guys, and if you have any questions about this or anything else, you know where to find me. Cheers.